Elsie, Lord, Gigi, and their makeshift pack find new allies as they make their way to the Pet City Sanctuary. But can they trust these mysterious new cats? What are they after? What are they hiding? And what kind of cat has its own vicious guard dog? This is Pharaoh, issue number 12 from Image Comics. And so yeah, in the last issue we had our group meeting some new cats. One of them being Ghost, who is just pretty quiet. He doesn't say anything but mews. And there's another cat whose name is Lucky, and he has his own guard dog. And we start off this issue with Gigi's kittens running around there being chased by this giant dog. And it turns out that this is a fake out. The dog is very playful with them and takes orders from Lucky. And he basically says that, I grew up with Lucky. I'm the one who practically raised him. So me and him can communicate with each other. And he is completely safe. Like, he won't do anything to harm the kittens. And so the kittens go out and start playing with the dog out in the woods. Meanwhile, Lucky shows them the Pet City Supercenter, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's basically just a giant supercenter focused specifically on pets and stuff. And Lucky is like, there's nothing in there but a bunch of food, toys, beds, treats, all stacked to the ceiling. We could live like kings for the rest of our lives. We won't ever have to worry about scrounging for food. The doors don't open. There's no windows that people can break in through. So there is nothing that we have to worry about once we can get inside. The problem, though, is that I can't find a way to get inside, because the outside is covered by the bad kind, which are like the rabid animals. Meanwhile, the doors are closed. The walls are too steep to actually climb, like they're too flat. So there's no way to get inside. But now that you guys are here, maybe we can come up with a plan. And the way that this is said kind of gives the impression that maybe Lucky is going to use them as bait. Like, there's just something about him and the way he talks and the way it's drawn that just looks like there's something that you can't fully trust about him. But I guess we'll see. Meanwhile, Elsie is kind of in her own little world. She's up in the tree just staring at the sky. And Lord's just saying, yeah, Elsie does this sometimes. Like, she likes the quiet when it's stressful. And we just lost our best friend, so give her time. And Gigi's like, nah, what she's dealing with is guilt. Let her stay up there. We'll be fine without her. Look at me. She's the one that caused this. She's been nothing but trouble. I'm like, all right, that's kind of mean. Meanwhile, with the dog and the kittens, we see that they're playing and they're being surrounded by the bad kind. And the bad kind attack. And the dog, Moosh, just viciously murders all the bad kind. Like, this dude he is violent when it comes to the dangerous animals. I like how Ghost kind of jumps in there to get involved as well. But Lord climbs up on the tree to talk to Elsie. And basically just kind of says, are you thinking about Patch? I'm thinking about Patch. And Elsie says that we should have listened to him. Back in the first issue, when the truck that was carrying them crashed, Patch was the one that says we should stay put. And Elsie's thinking maybe we should have done that. If we had stayed put by the truck, maybe people would have come back for us. Maybe none of this would have happened. Maybe Patch wouldn't have gotten sick. And then Lord says, Elsie, this isn't your fault. I mean, some of it is your fault. And I'm just kind of thinking, Lord, you of all people shouldn't be saying this. You're as much trouble as Elsie was. Like, a lot of this is also your fault too. You're the one that's constantly running away. You're the one that's constantly disobeying orders. You're the one that set off traps that have gotten people into trouble. You are just as bad, if not worse, than Elsie. Elsie has made some bad decisions, but she was doing it for a good cause. You were making bad decisions just because you were curious, and you were disobeying just because you wanted to disobey. So, this scene didn't make me appreciate Lord any more than I already hate him. I'm starting to hate him even more now. I really don't care for Lord. Lord reminds me of those characters in horror movies that there's a trope for it. I don't remember what it's called. But they're the characters that like cause the whole mess, but they're written in a way that no one blames them. But it's like you're the one at fault. But it's like the audience isn't supposed to think that they did anything wrong. But it's like, no, if you actually think about it, they did. They're the ones causing all the trouble, and they don't get any pushback from any of the characters in the universe. They don't get their comeuppance. They basically, they cause a ruckus, they cause issues, they cause people to die, and then they get away with it without any guilt or anything. And those characters annoy the hell out of me. And Lord reminds me of those characters. But everyone is basically just kind of like, let's leave Elsie alone. We don't need her. Lord's the only one that's kind of, I guess, somewhat sticking up for her. But even then, he decides to kind of leave her alone. Meanwhile, the kids come back and they're covered in blood, but they're completely safe. And of course, Gigi starts freaking out for good reason. I mean, her kids went off to play in the woods and they come back covered in blood. Obviously, she would be freaking out. But that's when Elsie says, hey, I have an idea. I know how we can get inside that store. And that's how the chapter ends. I enjoyed this issue more than the previous one. I feel like this one was kind of a breather issue, but we did have some stuff like we're building up. It doesn't feel like filler. It's more of a not much really happened in this issue. Like the only frightening scenes were, I guess, the fake out in the beginning, and then when the kids were surrounded by the bad kind, but Moosh and Ghost were able to fight them off. But that was very, very quick and brief. Most of it was just kind of talking and just kind of like the breather episode. It's the episode where we just had something big happen in the previous issue, and now we have to have like the cool down. But it was done in a way so that it doesn't feel like filler, which is nice, because that's a lot of problems with the other series, is that you'll have your breather episode. I always say episode, but I mean issue or chapter if we're talking manga. But you have your breather moments, and a lot of the times it can feel like filler because it's like, oh, well, nothing really happens. Whereas here, it's like we have things happening. We have the setup for what the next arc is going to be, which is trying to get to Pet City. We have some introductions to Lucky and Moosh. We get to see a little bit more of their characters. We get hints that maybe Lucky is hiding something, or maybe Lucky isn't as altruistic as he seems to be. Maybe it's just me being very, very wary, but just the way that he talks, it seems like maybe he's going to set up the animals as bait, or he's going to be someone that's quick to abandon them if it means he and Moosh can get into the Pet City. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking things. We also have like the fallout kind of between Elsie and Gigi, or at least we get to see more of Gigi turning against Elsie. Yeah, so we have things going on. It's just not as action-packed as previous issues, which I'm fine with. Again, you need your breather episode, but at least this one doesn't feel like filler. So yeah, this was fine. I liked it. So yeah, there you go. Feral issue number 12 from Image Comics. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still want to thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next one is more to your liking. With that said, thank you once again, and I hope you guys and gals have a good one. Later.